How's it going, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Unsigned Pop Punk Podcast. I'm your host, Patrick Ternowski, and with me, I'm pretty stoked. Today we got Scott Radinsky from the iconic punk band Pulley on the show. Scott, welcome.
Hey Patrick, how's it going, man? Thanks. Good to be
Dude,
here with you too.
hell yeah. It's we're gonna have fun. We're gonna have a good time today.
I like
Uh,
it.
yeah. I'm liking your little background there too. All the guitars and well, it looks like some show posters or something like that, or what you got back there?
Yeah, just a bunch of old flyers that I post up on the wall.
It's
You
awesome.
know, yeah, it's cool. Brings me back to my youth.
Oh yeah, I've got a whole bunch of somehow saved all my probably all of my tour passes and shit like that. Just and my wife like found everything one day and made me this little like coffee table with like everything inside it. It was a nice lady.
Oh, nice. I thought you were going to say she threw it all away, but
No,
nice.
no, no. She thinks it's cool. So no, she found like all my random stuff
Uh,
and made
Beautiful.
something cool out of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Sometimes you get lucky. So speaking, I don't know why I was gonna say. Speaking of lucky, this isn't lucky at all. But you guys just released the your new split EP, Split Personality, on September 5th with Fire Sale. How's the response been for the new music, and what made you guys want to do a split EP?
Um, well, let me go back to your initial thing, and we're always lucky when you get to record, man. At this
Dude,
point in our lives and put music out. I mean, we're super grateful for that.
that's true.
Um, Chris from Fire Sale has a podcast, or did have a podcast. I believe he still has it, called That One Time on Tour.
Okay.
And I've done a few episodes with him in the past when we've had some releases over the years. And, we just kind of developed a friendship. And um, when he reached out to us, if we, if to see if we had any interest in doing a split EP, yeah, I was like, yeah, sure. We reached out to everybody. I reached out to everybody, and they were all into it. We had some music kind of on the, I don't want to say back burner, but kind of in the unfinished songs that were
In the
just kind of
tank.
in the tank. Yeah,
Yeah.
and all we needed was like that little nudge or a reason to say, let's make them songs and record them, and that's what it was. So we were excited and jumped on the opportunity.
Hell yeah. So what's been some of the responses for? Have you got some fan feedback for them?
It's hard to tell sometimes because it's rarely do you have people say, "Oh, that sucked." You know,
Like,
I mean, honesty sometimes isn't, but I mean, the feedback so far has been good. I know with Seth from Negative Progression, who runs the record company, he's had great feedback that he's received, and I believe that both Fire Cell and us have received our fair share of pretty good feedback. So far it's been good, and it's been nice to hear. You
hell
know.
yeah. Do you have plans to like at all to do a new like Pulley album or an EP or anything down the line?
Um, sure. I mean, we don't have any dates or anything, but like I mentioned, we have somewhat songs, I guess you'd consider them, in the mix,
Yeah.
and it's just a matter of whether or not it turns into a full length or maybe our own EP or something. But I definitely think that there's new music on the horizon for us to get in the studio and record for sure.
Hell yeah. I mean, it's always a good time. I love getting into the studio. What do you like do you like doing like the studio process? Or are you more of just like let's get that part done, do the live shows?
I enjoy Mike, one of our guitar players, and we do a lot of the initial constructing of a song,
Sure.
and I enjoy that process with him a lot because it it takes time, but at the same time, it's not, there's not a shit ton of cooks in the kitchen.
Yeah.
We can kind of tailor things around vocals, structure, what makes sense to us musically. Um, So I enjoy being a part of that, and I do enjoy the process. You know, I don't sit there every day while we're doing drums and guitars. Usually we're all there day one, just we're all excited and
Yeah.
making sure sounds are good, getting a vibe for the studio, tempos, which hopefully have already been worked out before we went in. But I like the singing process myself when the music's done and you get to, as much as I can practice to it, we'll do rough demos, live demos in our rehearsal room.
Right.
But when you put on those headphones and you're listening to the playback and it's so clear and it sounds, I get an idea. That's when I kind of know, wow, this is either going to sound really good or, oh, this is going to sound okay, or this really isn't going to sound good. And then I'm always a little, self-conscious with the vocals. I always think they suck, you know.
I feel that. Yeah, I
Um,
feel you.
yeah, and so, but the more you start to get into the process and get into the groove of recording, and the days start to pile up, especially with vocals, because it is a little longer of a process than the other instruments, just because we're dealing with a voice and not just a man-made instrument.
Right.
So um, I, yeah, it starts to become pretty gratifying, man, when you hear it played back and you know what it sounds like raw, and you think, damn, when this is mastered, this is going to sound really good. So
Right.
I start to get excited and I enjoy it. And I enjoy playing live as well. So I don't want to shortchange that, but
Well, right.
creating and making music is kind of what makes playing live all about.
It's true. I uh I remember I was recording on like this one album and I was doing the vocals for it and I remember being like, God, like this sucks. Like I am sucking so bad. And the recording engineer was like, no, no, no. It sounds good. Just trust the process. I'm like, no, man, I don't know. I don't think I should be. I think we got to scrap this, man. It ain't working. And he's like, just give me 1 second, and he, tweaked his little knobs and bobbers and stuff. And I was like, okay, listen now. And I'm like, oh shit, that's way better. Okay, cool, cool, cool. I'm just in my head.
I can live with that. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Like I'm just
Yeah.
in my head. Okay, I got it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think it's natural to be self-conscious,
Right.
of your voice,
Hmm.
and I still am. I always will be.
Yeah. But, still this day, still killing it.
Yeah, thank you. Well, we
You're,
try.
yeah, it's all about getting out there and having fun. That's as long as you're having fun, that's all that matters.
Bottom line.
Uh, do you guys have any tour or show plans coming up for the rest of the year or the new year that you're able to talk about at all?
Yeah, we leave this weekend for a festival in Mexico City, which should
Hmm.
be pretty fun. Then we have a couple shows in November. We just booked a show in December, a couple shows in January. So yeah, I mean we have some stuff, and I actually just was doing some emails today, uh, regarding some summer touring over in Europe. So we'll see how this
Oh,
all pans out.
there you go. That'll be a good time.
Yeah, that's always a good time. Yeah.
I I wouldn't know. I've never been to Europe yet. That's on my bucket list. Um, I never got a chance to do any touring over there. The first I got was like, Canada, Mexico, not Europe though.
Well, in whatever capacity you get over there, whether it's a tourist or with a band, whatever,
Yeah,
it's always a good time. So you'll enjoy yourself when you finally make it.
I I hope so. I hope so
Yeah,
one day.
you
Uh,
will.
so Pulley's been a band now for like 30 years, which is a massive milestone that not many can say they've reached. Like, what would you say, like, is like the secret to the band's longevity?
Um, I get a little long-winded with my answers, so I apologize. But
Please,
so
long wind
so
as much.
okay. So the initial phone call, I had got asked to leave a band I was in previously,
Right.
and I picked up the phone 5 minutes later after I punched a few things, and I
Yeah.
called up a buddy of mine and I said, "Hey man, I want to start a band. You want to start a band? Let's start a band. Let's just have fun." And he said, "Okay." And then I called another guy and said the same thing, and that's kind of been the model since day one. Is we're going to have fun. We're going to get along with each other. And every member, to a man who has been a part of this band, has been involved in some sort of inner circle of friendship at some point or another within our lifetime.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so when you come to a Pulley show, if you're backstage and you see five guys, grown men, hanging out together, people kind of scratch their head and go, what's going on here? I don't normally see this. And I always feel a little skeptical. If you see a band that doesn't get along and isn't really doing things for the right reasons, it kind of makes you wonder, well, what are you doing it for?
Yeah.
Because we all started out in the garage. We all started playing music for the same reason. And that's what we're still doing. So when it comes down to what do I attribute longevity towards or to, I mean, liking each other, getting along, respecting each other, being mature enough to understand where we fit in the scene, what our goals are. We're not going to be the next new kids on the block. That's not ever in the cards for us. It was never in the cards for us. We never set out to try to be the next Rancid or Offspring from the beginning. We just wanted to play music and hang out together because that's what we wanted to do. And
Yeah.
that's what we're still doing.
Hell yeah, man. That's awesome. Like I agree. I've always found it really weird when it's like you're at a show, you're in the back, and you can see that like the other band on the bill like clearly is not super into each other, or at least not anymore. And I've always thought that was weird, because I'm just hanging out with my friends. That's all I want, like tour, playing shows. Man, I just get to hang. I'm just getting the chance to hang out with my friends.
And one of the biggest frustrating things about that is usually it's the bands that are making enough money
Yeah.
to like actually go home with something. They're
Hmm.
the ones that don't get along, and it's the rest of the bands that are all out there struggling because that's what they enjoy doing. So
Yeah.
go figure. If
Yeah.
the fans only knew.
Hey man, you learn to like love each other when you're, squeezed into a van. Uh, you got about $5 each per diem per night. Hopefully you're. I mean, this was back in the day. $5 ain't getting you jack shit anymore, but
Yeah,
$5, man. I remember that lasting so long.
yeah,
Like,
yeah. No choice,
yeah.
no choice. But
So,
it's one of two things happen. You either really get along or you end up really hating each other because it's hard, man. It's not easy being on tour. And like you mentioned, the $5 and being broke and it's rough. It's
yeah,
not easy. It's not easy. And it takes a special group of people
right.
to set out on that kind of adventure and make it out the other side and not have killed each other.
Right. I mean, that's one of the things we talk about on this show a lot is that um being a trying to be a professional musician is one of the hardest career paths you can try to take. Because it is very expensive to do. Um, and you have a lot of stuff that you have to struggle with. However, if this is like what you want to do, like as an artist, it's impossible to really try to do anything else. It is you just want it so bad. And so if you're able to get out there and go on tour and stuff, you don't for the at least for a really long time, you don't care if you get paid. You're just so stoked to be
Yeah,
playing in front of people.
you put your life on hold
Yeah.
and it beats the hell out of working.
Yeah.
It just, I mean, I have a lot of friends right now that are, in their 50s that have been doing it for a long time. And yes, they can go on tour and maybe they come home with a few bucks and they can, pay this month's rent and eat.
Hmm.
But, life beyond that is like a big question mark. And, there's no guarantees for anybody. It's not like we all, you know, uh, have this crystal ball and know how things are going to turn out. But it becomes, I think at some point it becomes a part of, your full time existence. And when I made that initial phone call and said, let's start a band and have fun, um, I also was dealing with people that had full-time jobs.
Yeah.
So there was never the expectation to, take off more time than you can. We toured when we could, we played shows when we could, we wrote music and recorded when we could. And that was the whole purpose. And that's what kept it fun. And that's what's, kept it enjoyable and not for killing each other is we don't have that stress or pressure, that, oh shit, we got to go on tour again, because we're all broke and we got to go do this and we got to go do that. And I think that's what it comes down to at some point, in a musical, 99% of the bands that are out there, it becomes survival.
Yeah.
And it's just, you're just trying to survive because you get to a point in life where it's like, well, geez, what am I going to do now?
Yeah.
What am I going to do at this point in my life?
Right.
And it just becomes the easy go-to,
Mm-hmm.
you know.
And
And hats off. And I hang on a second. I tip my hat to all those people, because
yeah.
it's like it's not easy,
Oh
not
yeah.
easy.
It's not easy, but it's like the most awesome thing you can do if it's what you want to do.
Yeah, it's great.
It's
It's
so good.
great. It's
And
great.
for our listeners that don't know, all right, the band you were talking about that you were in before is 10-foot pole, which, you kicked ass when you're in 10-foot pole as well. And part of the thing that if you don't know people, um, part like you were also a Major League Baseball relief pitcher. So when you were transitioning from 10-foot pole to pulley, was there ever a time where you were thinking about maybe I'll just be a ball player? Or were you like immediately, nope, I want to do music still too, no matter what?
Well, I started playing professional baseball in 1986, and
Yes.
I was asked to leave 10-foot pole in 1995. So I had been, for 9, 10 years doing that.
Yeah.
Um, and music had been a part of my life going back to the early 80s. When we were in a band that was actually called SOF before, or Scared Straight
Yep.
before
Yep.
the pole. And so music was always a passion, of mine.
Hmm.
It was a part of my life, and baseball came along my junior year in high school, and I started having some success my senior year, and then I was kind of getting told like, hey, you might have a chance to do this for a career.
Yeah.
So I thought, okay, well, I'm not going to college then if I can do this, and I took that route. But you still have 4 or 5 months off every year in the off season, so
Right.
it was perfect for me. It's like, well, this is going to be band season. I got baseball season, now I got band season. So I never really thought, um, when 10-foot pole ended for me that, um, music would have stopped. Quite frankly, it was probably the opposite. It was a it wasn't a very uh, happy split, I guess.
Sure.
So it definitely fueled the fire and gave me a little more incentive and drive to say, well, let's take this to the next level.
Yeah.
And I don't know where 10-foot pole would have ever gone, to be honest, because
Sure.
we were one of those bands that a few of us got along, but not everybody really all got along. So I
Sure.
don't know how long that could have existed. Uh, Although, even though it was getting some early somewhat success or notoriety just because the record label we were on, but I don't think that it would have lasted as long as this band has. And I, in my mind, Pulley did take it to the next level, and I'm extremely proud of that. And
I mean, I
great,
completely agree.
yeah, and I'm grateful for the guys that I've been with over the years, all the different members we've had. It's just been a great family to be a part of.
Hell yeah. Like did you ever like do shows like during the baseball season ever as well? Or was it just like baseball separate and then go do band stuff?
We have actually, there's been some Saturday day games. We've been able to pull out some shows, some off days. But yeah, it's happened. Spring training.
Sure.
During the daytime we go play a show at night in Arizona or something. Yeah, it's happened. Not as often as I'd want it to happen, but yeah,
Right.
it's happened.
Well, I mean, it, if it, like for those that like I said, may not know, listeners that may not know, like baseball's crazy, man. It's so many games. It is, it's like half a year, the season. So it's
It's
like
it's
so
eight
busy.
months. It's
Yeah.
every day. It's literally every. I think there's 19 days off in an 8 month period.
Yeah.
So
That's crazy, man.
it's
That's a
it's a lot of work, man. And the travel and the schedule, it's really demanding. So when those opportunities did happen, the moons were aligned just right, and we took advantage of it.
hell yeah. I mean, you had to be were you living off like coffee all year or what? Like that's a grueling schedule to go from, baseball to touring, and that's incredible, man.
Yeah, no, it's just that I guess that natural high of doing what you do, man. And you know, I'm extremely proud when I look in the mirror. Sometimes I go, I mean, I guess I've worked, but technically I've never had a job in my life.
Yeah.
And that's well, I did construction a little bit here and there, but I've never really had a job. And
Yeah.
and these are the two things I've done, and these are the two things I still do to this day. And
Yeah.
I'm stoked.
Dude,
You know.
like you should look in the mirror and be proud. I mean, like first off, like once again, like I mean, Pulley is awesome, and lots of people, I've seen like in interviews and stuff, lots of people are like, you're like band members' favorite bands and stuff, like you guys have reached like a level of success that a lot of people, dream to. And then, also on top of that, being, a Major League Baseball player, which is really cool. Also, when I was a kid, baseball was like my favorite thing. My goal in life. I was going to be a Major League Baseball pitcher, and I was never cut out for it. Um, but one of the things I did, and I was obsessed with, and me and my dad did it, is collect baseball cards, like an obsessive amount of baseball cards. And my dad
Yeah,
is phenomenal, and he never got rid of any of my things. He kept all of my stuff. And
that's awesome.
so today I was like, I'm gonna do 30 minutes. I'm gonna go look through my cards. And in 30 minutes, I found three of your baseball
Wow,
cards
awesome.
with
Hey, now one of those isn't me.
one
You
of
see
these
that one?
is not you.
Well, that one in your left. Well, now I think it's the back one. You can look at the front. It's not me. Not that one. It's the one on your farthest right, your right hand. That one. That's Tom Dries, who was a Minnesota Twin and a Minnesota native on the cover of that card. I'm on the back.
You are on, yeah. So I looked at that is hilarious.
Yeah, that's pretty funny. Yeah.
Wow. How
Yeah. Someone hands me that card and they say, "Hey, Mr. Radinsky, can you sign this?" I'll always flip it over and sign the back, and they're saying, "Can you sign the other side?" I say, "No, you got to ask the other guy to sign that. That's not me."
dude, that's so random.
How about that? Yeah.
I but I was sitting there thinking, I was like, I guaranteed I have your rookie card. Guaranteed. Because like I said, I found those three in a half hour.
Yeah. That's cool, man.
It is cool. I mean,
Yeah.
like I said, that's one of those things that you get, like, you can look in the mirror like you're on a
Not a
baseball card.
baseball card. Yeah, it's a trip.
That's
It's a
fucking
trip.
cool. That's cool,
It
man.
is. It is.
And so on top of that, you've had the chance to play some of the most iconic stages in our industry and, perform all over the world, which we talked about already a little bit. So are there any shows that stand out in your mind as favorites?
Oh man, there's so many shows.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's, I mean, some of the smaller backyard parties that I could think of from years ago to some of the festivals we played, recently in front of thousands of people. Um, yeah, I mean, how do you choose a show that's, did you say memorable or favorite? It's
Yeah.
it's it's really difficult, man. But I think the shows that are our own shows,
Yeah.
where it's a Pulley show and
Yeah.
people come to see our band, and they know the songs, they know the words, they're singing along, they're having a good time. Um, those are always special,
Yeah.
and those are always special shows. But I honestly, I don't want to sound cliche or cheesy, but you know what? They're all memorable. They're all special. They're all great.
Yeah.
And, I mean, like I said earlier, if you're not grateful or have once again, this is the cheesy answer, but I truly do believe this. And I think you could tell by our existence that, there's some validity to it. Um, if you're not grateful for having the opportunity to still be able to do it and still be able to play and have people appreciate that, or at least even respected enough to at least show up,
Yeah.
then you probably shouldn't be doing it in the first place. And I, I feel that way whether there's 17 people or 17,000. And you know, obviously we all want to play great shows, but they're all great shows.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Just the fact that you're out there is awesome and is great, you know. I was talking to someone not too long ago, and they were like, they were bummed. They were out on tour, and they're like, they're from Minnesota, sus, and they're like, man, our show last night, it didn't go that great. There was only like 15 people there. I was like, yeah, but aren't you in Nashville right now? He's like, yeah. I'm like, isn't that fucking cool? Isn't that really
Yeah.
cool? You're in Nashville right now, playing a
Yeah.
show in front of 15 people that paid to see you. You're in Nashville. You're not at
Yeah.
home. You're not at work.
Yeah.
You're in a whole different city, in a whole different state,
Yeah.
playing music.
And
That's cool.
17 people come to see you,
Yeah,
you know?
that's fucking cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
You got to look at like those positives.
I'll sometimes we'll be sitting somewhere, and I'm going to do it this weekend. Well, I'll be sitting there, and everybody's trying, kind of warming up, getting ready to play. You can see it, the anxiety's still there. Everybody's excited.
Yeah,
And hey, well, what's up? What's up? We're in Mexico City today. And then I'll just
yeah,
go back to warming up. It's like, don't forget where we're at and what we're doing.
yeah.
This is a privilege, and it really is.
Hmm.
And I hope that we're allotted the opportunity to have this privilege for a long time still to come.
Yeah. I mean, that's awesome, man. Because that's fucking cool. Like you're in
Yeah,
Mexico. This is cool as
yeah.
shit.
It doesn't get any better than that. Right
No,
now, this is the best place to be. We'll
absolutely.
worry about tomorrow.
Now, I guess this isn't like so much a wish or, but it's kind of like a dream type question, right? Because so you guys have, on top of, some of the biggest and coolest places that you've played all around the world, you've also had the chance to play with some of the best bands in our genre. Um,
Mm-hmm.
is there anyone that you haven't played with that you wish you could share the stage with, or wish you could have shared the stage with?
Well, there's a band out of Chicago I've always liked called Peg Boy. Would love to play a show with them someday. Um, but all the fat epitaph type bands, I mean, I think we've had the opportunity to play with all of them, which is awesome. Um, Super stoked to play with the Descendants a couple times.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah. Um, a lot of times when you get the opportunity to play some festivals, there might be 8 or 9 bands on that bill,
Hmm.
and a lot of them are bands you want to play with. So we can check that box at times, but playing club shows is it's a different animal,
Right.
because a festival a festival will sell out before they even announce a band.
Hmm.
People are just going to the festival to go to the festival.
Right.
Um, a club show, that's a different story. And people are coming to see that particular band or those particular bands that are on the bill. So, um, you know, I can't think of anybody that I honestly can't think of offhand. I can't think of anybody that I'd want to play with as
Sure.
much as thinking of the bands that I'm stoked to have had played with. You know?
And that's awesome too. You
Yeah.
know,
Sorry, I can't answer the question, but
you,
Peg Boy, how about that?
that's
Minor
cool.
threat.
And yeah, see, there you go. I mean, when I was doing some of my research of just like, prepping for this and stuff, just like looking at like just a lot of the bands you played with. One of them that like brought up that I was like, "Oh man, that's really awesome," was No Use for a Name.
Oh
And
yeah.
I was like, "Oh my gosh." Then I immediately had to go listen to No Use for a Name. I was like, "Oh man, it's been too long.
We
It's been."
we we actually did a whole tour with them. We were on a bus together, and it was just awesome. We started doing barbecues, and then that turned into a thing where we would get to the venue early. We started playing stickball. Me and Tony were the designated pitchers. It was a great tour, man. That was a lot of fun. Yeah, they're all fun, but yeah, that was a special one for sure. And then of course, tragedy happens, and
Right.
it makes you appreciate those moments even more.
Right. Was
Yeah.
Tony able to keep up with you pitching? Or did you
Pitch
guys
for pitch, man. Pitch. He couldn't hit worth a shit, but he kept up with me pitch for pitch. He kept those guys' bats at bay or the stick at bay, man. It was good. It was impressive. He was a big football fan. He was a big sports guy.
Yeah,
Um, but yeah, he surprised me. He had a pretty cool little wind up. He did a little twister. We had good fun, man. We had good fun.
that's awesome.
Yeah, yeah,
That's I can just picture it.
yeah.
So were you playing like just outside the venue then? Or just where
Yeah,
would
we were on a bus, so we would leave after the show at night. We were in Europe, and we'd wake up in the parking lot of some venue, and
yeah.
it could be whatever 8 9 in the morning, and there was a guy named Mike Leonard. He was a tour manager, and he came up with this thing called FSBR. What's that? He goes, fucking stickball rules. Get out of your bunk. And we would go. We would either be in the parking lot if it was big enough. We would be in a grass area, and there was a few times I distinctly remember like, hey, it's time for sound check. No, fuck that, we're not done, and we just kept playing. Neither band had sound check. We just set our shit up and play. It was fun, man. Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Doesn't get more punk rock than that though.
Yeah, I only wonder
Run and
what like
gun.
some of these venues or the fans were like, what the hell are these people doing? What are these guys doing? First of all, they didn't even know the game, but
Right.
yeah, funny. It was funny. Good time. Good time.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
We had like our own kind of it was our we never had a name for it, but it was like we would do the same thing. We would get to a venue and we played this thing. It was like we called it the bottle game, and you had like half of a bottle of water, and you had to like throw it to like you stood in a circle and you had to throw it like in the air, and then you had to like catch the bottle with one hand and like in one motion throw it. And like
Oh,
for just a fucking bottle and some dudes, it was a stupid amount of fun.
I bet. I bet. Sometimes it's the smallest, dumbest things that are the most entertaining. You
Right.
know?
The bottle toss game, I think is what we
Yeah.
called it. Very creative.
Yeah. I like it.
All right. I got one more question before we go to a quick break. If you could give our listeners a piece of advice that you know now that you wish you knew when you were first starting your musical journey, what would that be?
Um, well, selfishly, I'd say write your songs orientated around your vocalist. Structure songs so they're you know, vocal friendly.
Yeah,
Um, Try not to have run-on sentences. Musical jams are cool, but I think it's a different genre of music. Bands like Fish, The Dead. I
yeah,
don't. I don't think that sometimes when we write riffy stuff, it's necessarily the best.
sure.
I know I'm guilty of that. Way back when I was first learning how to play guitar, it was like I want to try to write something that's more musical orientated, and then then I'm stuck with trying to figure out, oh, well, what am I going to sing over? So understanding how to like really write music, write songs, uh, get along and respect the people that you're collaborating with, creating with, I think is extremely important.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, just don't take it too seriously. Have fun with it. That's the best advice I could give is have fun with it, man. I mean,
Yes.
and we did early on. Or I shouldn't say early on in Pulley. I shouldn't say early on in my musical career,
Yeah.
because we really didn't. We were doing it for different reasons, and I feel like now we've been doing it for the right reasons, and that's why I think we're still doing it.
That's that longevity talk we talked about.
Yep.
Hell yeah. Those are great bits of advice. I can't agree more. Sometimes you get in your own head about taking stuff a little too seriously that you forget to have fun, and that the whole point of this is to have fun and love what you're doing.
Well, you also have to believe in what you're doing and not try to, recreate something that's already been done, or you want to sound like somebody else. It's
Mhm.
like do what you believe in, because at the end of the day, you're putting your stamp on it. So you gotta be behind it, and that's an important factor in writing music as well.
Right. Exactly. I mean, if you're writing to sound like someone else, let's say, you're writing your music and you sound just like Green Day or something. Well, there's already a Green Day. They don't.
And
You're
and
only going to get so.
thousands of others as well. But
Yeah. Well, right,
there's
right, right.
there's hundreds of all. I think at this point it's going to be pretty rare for a band to come out and be original. I
Be
mean,
fully original for sure.
yeah, there's always going to be pieces of something that reminds us of something, you
Right,
know?
right. Exactly. I mean, there's only so many chord progressions you can do anymore,
Yeah,
especially in, punk rock.
yeah,
But that's where you gotta get as creative as you can.
yeah.
Yeah, that's fun. All right. With that, we're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back with our next segment. How's it going, everybody? It's Patrick with Unsigned Pop Punk, and we partnered with GFUEL. And let me tell you, there's no more pop punk drink on the market right now. I don't care what you used to drink at. GFUEL keeps you energized, focused, and hydrated. I just picked up my favorite flavor, Blue Ice. If you go to gfuel.com right now and use code UnsignedPopPunk, you're going to save 20% off your entire order. This tub I have is only $35.99. Now that may seem like a lot, but it's got 40 frickin' servings, which if you think about it in can form, is like 89 cents a can. And they're always dropping new flavors and collabs with some of your favorite animes, video games, and movies. Head over to gfuel.com and check it out for yourself. Let us know what your favorite flavor is. And once again, don't forget to use our code UnsignedPopPunk at checkout to save 20% off your whole order. And we're back. Thanks so much for sticking around. It's time for everybody's favorite part of the show. It's the food for thought segment. If you weren't hungry yet, the goal is hopefully you will be by the end of this. I know I'm always hungry because I never eat before the show. I just don't. I should, because then I wouldn't be hungry afterwards, but it's just not the way it works. So, Scott, you spent a lot of time in ballparks and venues. Overall, which one would you say has better food?
Overall, I guess I'd have to say probably the stadiums over the venues. Although the venues have put out some pretty damn good food at times.
Yeah.
Uh, I think like percentage base wise, I think there's probably a bigger variety at a stadium. Although I
So,
wouldn't know because I don't go in the seats and eat. But
yeah.
uh, you know,
But so I guess it's more like clubhouse or, green room.
oh well, if you're yeah. For us, there's I can't compare that to the clubhouse. Yeah. Clubhouse is about as first class as it gets, especially
Yeah.
when you're a visitor. A visiting clubhouse guy is he's bringing in the best for those 3 days to you know um, to entertain. Basically, that's his
Yeah.
way of entertaining you. And they just it's so ridiculous now. There's a chef in every locker room, and
Dude.
everything's cooked to order. It's yeah, it's there's no comparison.
Hell yeah.
And
So,
I appreciate the nachos, and I appreciate the
dude.
the chips and salsa and the peanut butter and jelly backstage in the green room. I love it,
Oh
but
yeah,
it
or the like the Domino's or Little Caesars. Yeah, man.
doesn't compare to the 5-star meal, though.
It doesn't.
You know,
So, um, because you were, you know, playing baseball from the 80s, 90s, and then you were a coach, right, for a while.
mm-hmm.
Did did it get from the 90s to like what was it, 2000s, right?
Yep.
Like, did it only kind of get better as
Oh,
those years went on?
of course. I can give you a little rundown of the evolution. So
Let's do it.
my first year, our clubhouse equipment manager, he was a bus driver in the minor leagues as well. He had this like hat with many titles. We would come into to the to the locker room after the game, and you'd smell fried bologna, black eyed peas, and collard greens, and
Nice.
it was great, right? Because we were starving.
Hmm.
Um, the 90s come around, and they start bringing in catering food, which was unheard of.
Yeah.
And now there's like these trays, warming trays with lasagna and pastas, and every day is a different meal, and it was just the best of everything. And then and I coached all the way until 2018, and
Yeah.
as in these later years as a coach, like I said, every clubhouse has a chef. You can basically walk up. It's like a mini restaurant. There's a menu behind him, and
Dang.
there's specials of the day. And each place, you go to Philly, they're going to make you cheesesteaks. Wherever you go, there's going to be some kind of specialty. And it's these guys have it so good, and they deserve it because the hours you spend at the field
Hmm.
are you're there sometimes 12, sometimes 15 hours depending on the length of the game, and they're long days, man. They're
Yeah.
really super long days. So I think it's a good thing that baseball's evolved to where it is, and now it accommodates these highly performance athletes, because the guys in the day, I mean, there was guys in my locker room when I came up that were smoking cigarettes, drinking beers, and now you see they're playing PlayStation or their Xboxes. They're all in their own rooms, but they're playing each other, and they're not out. They're not out. No, I shouldn't speak for everybody,
Right.
but they're not out abusing themselves like a lot of us did back in the day,
Oh yeah.
and so they it's on par with the clubhouse is on par now to how they take care of themselves. So it's kind of an equal level. It's good, man. I'm happy for them. It's good.
Oh yeah. That's good.
Yeah,
D- Um, do you ever really watch baseball still at all, or
I do. I'll flip through it. I don't really have. There's still a few people that I work with
yeah?
that are still coaching, and some players that are actually still playing. That I'll flip through and just keep an eye on, watch a little. I don't really necessarily sit down and watch a whole game,
Sure.
um, but I've been a part of helping out some high schools and some colleges here locally.
That's
So
cool.
I've been a part of those seasons and a part of those games. And what's on TV? Like I watched a little bit of the Indians playing the Tigers today in playoffs, and I'll watch some of the Dodgers tonight. But yeah, I mean, I watch it, but I wouldn't necessarily say I got to watch every minute of it, and that's my
Sure.
life. No, no.
Yeah. Being a Minnesotan, unfortunately, my baseball season's over. So
Yeah, but you got some bright stuff ahead. They're in the market for a new manager. They're going to
I
rebuild
saw
a new
that.
team. Hopefully, there's some bright spot future.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah.
always optimism in Minnesota.
Well, when it comes to Minnesota sports in general, we don't have a whole lot of options but to be optimistic because it's like, other than the Twins or the Minnesota Lynx, you know, those are our only two champion teams, and the Twins, it's 1991, right? I think that was our last one. So
But they
we
did
get
compete quite a bit.
yeah, we get there. We all of our teams, we compete. We almost get there all the time.
I sound like the cheap owner when I say this, but it's really all you can ask for of a franchise is to be a competing
Right.
franchise and be relevant. When you're, let's just use the White Sox for an example this particular season. When you're 30 games or whatever it is back, when you're going into the final month of the season and you're already eliminated, that's brutal, man. You see the
Yeah.
amount of people in their seats. They might have had 600 people at a game, and that's sad.
Yeah.
So if you can compete up until the end, you know, you also got to have a lot of luck, and it's really hard to keep 25, 26 guys healthy over the
Yeah.
course of 8 months. When they're grinding every day, abusing their bodies, and it's hard, man. Everything's got to be perfect. And when you are crowned a champion in any sport, things went your way that season, and most of the time it's usually injuries.
Yeah. I I'm not supposed to even say this as a Minnesota Twins fan, but 90 little 90s Pat really enjoyed the White Sox. Frank Thomas, Robin Ventura, man,
Yeah,
that was a good team.
it's great. Yeah, those were great teams.
Yeah. It's a good
I,
time.
I loved it.
Yeah.
But I mean, I don't know how old you are, but going into Minnesota, into the dome there, it's like they got Kirby,
hmm
Herbeck,
Chuck
Danny
Knobloch.
Danny Gladden, Chuck Knobloch. Those are pretty solid teams too, man.
Oh,
Gaetti. Those were
oh
good
yeah.
teams.
They were great teams.
Yeah, they were great teams. And then you start mixing in the Torrey Hunters, and it's like, it's it's good baseball, man.
Oh
It,
yeah.
it's
Don't
it's
get
it's
I
it's a good
love my
sports. Yeah,
I love my Minnesota teams.
yeah.
I love them. They're
Okay, so you're the first Minnesota fan. I'm going to ask this question: how do you like your stadium, the outdoor one? It's not new, but it's new.
I mean it comparatively speaking, it's like I mean, I miss the dome, but you know, uh it's good. I like it. It's a good stadium. I mean, it's at this point it's kind of like it just reminds me of just pretty much every other stadium. So it's hard because it's like when we had the dome, man, we had the dome. It was unique.
Yeah, yeah.
It was fun, and you got to see the Vikings there, you got to see the Twins there. It's
I
kind
can
of
I can tell you as a visitor coming into the city, and I don't want to harp on get all over Minnesota here. Or talk about Minnesota. We're talking about food, but there is
right.
great food in Minnesota.
Yeah.
But uh, the ballpark, the atmosphere in the downtown setting, you can't beat it, man. You just can't beat it. And I can only imagine as a fan that, after a day game or even after a night game, you get to pour out of that stadium into those streets and there's an atmosphere around there. It's kind of cool. And
Yeah.
you got public transportation and adequate parking. And compared to what we have here, and I'm not knocking, our local stadiums, but we don't have that. And I always appreciated that, the Chicago's, the Fenways, the Minnesotas, like I said, when you come out into that atmosphere, it's a vibe and it's
Yeah.
cool. It's it's
Yeah.
it's it's cool. That's
'Cause
I didn't get to experience that as a kid.
That's fair. Yeah, like or coming out of like Wrigley Field and just spilling out just right into the city. It's cool.
It's
Like
awesome.
it's a cool thing. I like it.
It's
Yeah.
awesome.
I the only thing I don't enjoy is if you drove there, getting out really sucks. But but if you're a traveler like cuz I'm about 3 hours from Minneapolis. I'm way up in Duluth.
Okay.
Um So I don't get to go to as many games as I like to. It's a special trip when I get to go to something.
Yeah, that's like a whole weekend for you.
Yeah, so it is it is more fun because then it's like, okay, we took the train, or whatever, and get to go there and just go do something afterwards, not have to drive around.
I'm sorry, man. I knew we were talking about food, but
No,
I,
it's good,
I hear
dude.
you off the tracks.
I get off the rails all the time, man. It's
But I'll tell the people when in Minnesota, go to the Loon and get some of that wild rice soup. It doesn't get any better than that.
oh, we're all about our wild rights. So, up here, there's a restaurant called Fitger's, and they're the brew house, and their big famous thing is their
Uh,
wild rice burger.
ooh, that sounds like a crunchy hamburger.
Yeah,
Because wild rice soup kind of has that crunchiness to it.
yeah, it's pretty good. And if you like, I mean, if you like wild rice, like it's pretty
Yeah.
fucking good. So
Ah, I got to try that.
yeah, come on up, I'll take you. Next time you're in Minnesota and you want to drive all the way up north, you know, I would recommend fall. That's when people like to go
Yeah,
here.
yeah, yeah,
We got what Minnesota is famous for our seasons, So
yeah. And your lakes.
yes, we got a good fall up here.
Yeah.
All right, back to food though. Was there ever like a food stop? So traveling the country, especially, but the world, there's cool places everywhere. Is is there ever like an official like pulley like tradition that you gotta stop at if you're going through somewhere?
Oh man.
It's like
No,
for me, if I'm coming through California, any I'm
you're going in and
going
out.
for In and Out.
Yeah, yeah,
I fucking have to,
yeah.
you know.
Um, you know what? We haven't done a whole lot of touring in the States, to be honest with you.
All right.
Uh, so I can't think of too many places here that would be a necessity go to. We just don't have that experience. Um, we've been to Europe more than anywhere, uh, probably more than we all have been anywhere. Um,
It's crazy.
and yeah, so I would say that, like we're going to go to some kind of kebab place when we're in Europe, get a doner kebab.
Oh yeah.
Not a specific place, but just in general, that type of food. You know, when we get to go to Canada or Quebec, somebody's going to order fries and gravy and the cheese curds.
Some poutine?
Some poutine. So there's certain maybe food items that we will look
Yeah.
to. I know there's candy bars in Germany. Like I'm going to get a Lion bar every time I go. Every time I go to a gas station, I'm getting a Lion bar. But yeah, I mean, so there's
What's a lion bar?
just like a almost like a Nestle's Crunch kind of
Okay.
crunchy. Yeah, it's a candy bar.
Okay.
But I'm in Germany, so it's a
So it's
German.
better.
Yeah, everything's better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Um, we just had someone on that's from Canada. We were trying to talk about how we could make the perfect American poutine. And so we were thinking, okay, so Wisconsin's got the cheese curds, right? That is what Wisconsin is for, is cheese curds. So
Yeah.
you would have to create this in Wisconsin. So you'd get some Wisconsin cheese curds, and then and we decided McDonald's fries.
Ooh.
That
Okay.
that that would be the go. So McDonald's fries, Wisconsin cheese curds, and then KFC gravy.
I was gonna say Kentucky Fried Chicken gravy.
Yeah. Um, my co-host, so he lives in Madison. So like we're like, dude, you were the only one of us that can do this. You have to go do this. He is yet to do it, but I will not give up. He has to go make this happen.
Yeah. I thought you were talking about the American versions of it. That's great. Yeah, I'm thinking like, well, California. I don't know if poutine would be poutine, or it'd probably just be like nachos. Some chips, some fucking cheese, and whatever else they threw on it. And that'd be our version of poutine.
Oh yeah. I mean, I've definitely had some poutine in the States, but it is not the same as
Not the
get
same.
not at all. Like
Yeah, I
for
can
some
imagine.
reason we just can't do it.
Yeah. Well, then leave it to them. Maybe we
Right.
shouldn't try. It's a good concept, but we'll let the professionals deal with the poutine.
So if we were, let's say I was to travel down to Simi Valley, right? Where would Pulley be like, you fucking have to go here to eat?
I would take you to a place called Campos. I'm not a big Mexican food guy anymore. I think I ate way too much in my life. But there's this place called Campos. It's just a small little burrito place, and they're the best.
Perfect.
That would be where I'd tell you we got to go. We got to go to Campos.
Well, you're in luck because I fucking love burritos.
Uh, you'll love Campos.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Uh, so these next two questions we have, these are our staple questions. We ask these every show. Um, if, like I said, if my co-host Brett was here, you would really understand why. This first one. But speaking of, I don't want to call this Mexican food because boy, is it only by like association. But what's your Taco Bell order?
Just a bean and cheese, green chili, bean and cheese burrito. Yeah, with
Nice.
bean and cheese burrito with green sauce.
Okay,
Yeah, I used to get those Mexican pizzas, and then they stopped making them.
they're
And
back.
I know I heard they're back, but I don't go to Taco Bell anymore. But if I do, it's yeah, bean and cheese burrito with green sauce.
Nice.
Yeah,
Uh,
pretty simple.
we have found over the years now that pretty much if you're in a touring band, one of the most affordable places that you everybody likes and everybody goes to is Taco Bell.
Oh, for sure.
So we're like, all right, man, well this has to just be a question now.
Yeah,
And
for sure.
my co-host, he has like an LED Taco Bell sign like always behind him. So so we're just like, all right, that's it. We have to ask this now.
Yeah, fair enough.
All right, and this is our last question for food for thought. So think about like the band as a whole, and you can take this question however like your heart tells you to take it. If Pulley was a potato, what kind of potato would you be?
Oh, we'd be a sweet potato. We're a bunch of nice guys, man. We try to get along with people, make people feel appreciated, and I mean, we're genuine. We're just like regular dudes, and there's nothing spuddy about us.
Perfect answer. I love it.
Yeah.
All right, that's the end of our food for thought segment. Now it's time for rapid fire questions.
Friendships will be tested. Rapid fire questions.
This is very simple. You speak from the heart, shoot from the hip, whatever comes to your head, even if it's not one of these two options that I'm going to present to you.
Okay.
You speak your truth. You just answer whatever you get, whatever comes to your head.
Okay.
Liquid Death or LaCroix? Oh, there you go. Plain. There you go. That's a,
Yeah,
you know,
not a liquid death guy.
I
Too
I think
trendy, man. Too
dude,
trendy.
liquid death is what really kind of got me into sparkling water, I think.
Yeah.
I enjoy it. I also really like their aesthetic though.
I mean, to
Like,
be honest, I'll take the Trader Joe version over either one of those.
there you go.
Um, it seems to have more bubbles, and it
Okay.
got a little more kick to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Little bite.
There's one called Polar at my local grocery store that's not bad either. Yeah.
Polar?
Polar, is that how you say it? Yeah,
Uh,
Polar. I don't know. P
I
O
th
L E R.
yeah, I think it's just like polar like a polar bear.
Polar bear. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. That's good. I have some upstairs right now.
Yeah.
I like polar.
Yeah.
Uh Spotify or Apple Music?
Neither.
CDs? Would you
Oh
cassettes?
yes, CDs. I listen to CDs, or I mean, to be honest, look, I'll just if I'm listening to something that I don't have on CD, I use YouTube or something, but I don't use too many of the streaming things.
Sure. That's
Yeah, I
fair.
just don't.
I have my like vinyls or I also I also really like cassettes. I think cassettes are awesome. If I could find some old school cassettes, that's my jam.
I have a pretty extensive collection of both CDs and vinyl, and I had even a bigger cassette collection. And I recently, about 6 months ago, I jumped it all. I kept all the original cassettes, like original Black Flag, Fear, things like that. But all the copied ones I had, I just kind of
Oh, sure, sure.
because they just I mean, I still have a cassette player, but they just don't sound good. They
Yeah,
sounded good way back when, but they just don't sound good anymore.
right.
So yeah, mostly vinyl.
That's
Yeah,
a pretty awesome, like, just the couple you named, like, that's a pretty awesome little collection of cassettes you got there.
yeah.
Pretty much all I ever find
I,
anymore.
and I go back as far as I still have some 8 tracks as well, and
Oh, there you
I have ability to play those too. But I don't want to take the chance of ruining them. You know.
That's fair. That's fair.
Yeah.
Um, South Park or Family Guy?
I'll say South Park just because my kid watched it, and I didn't watch either one, but
Oh,
he was a
okay.
South Park guy. Yeah, and
It's
I know some people that got to be characters on it, so and it makes me even like it better.
yeah, that's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Um, let's see. So I'm switching some of mine up because we normally we have like a bit more of like the pop punky type artist. So one of my questions was like drive through records are fueled by ramen. Um, but I'm gonna switch
Who's
it
that?
up. Huh?
I'm kidding. I said, "Who's that?" I'm
Yeah.
kidding.
I'm gonna switch this up though. Fat Records or Epitaph?
Oh, well, Frontier, Triple X, some of the early labels, BYO, the LA labels. You said I didn't. I could pick whatever I wanted, but I'm going to take. I got to take Epitaph. I mean, that's my label. Yeah.
I mean, like those early labels are cool too, man. You pick whatever you fucking want.
Slash, they put out the germs. So
Yeah,
yeah.
there you go.
Yeah.
Uh, Beanies or snapback hats?
Ooh, I prefer a beanie.
That's crazy. Like, when do you have a chance to wear a beanie in California?
Never, ever. But I've worn a hat for 37 years, 8 months, every single day for 15 hours. So I'd rather wear a beanie.
Hell yeah. I suppose, right?
I don't care if it's snapback or not.
I suppose. I actually most like I would say recently in my life switched from I used to exclusively wear like fitted baseball hats. Like that's for like 20 years of my life. That's all I ever wore.
It's just easy when you wake up and you throw a hat on. I don't wear
Yeah.
hats anymore at all. You won't ever see me with a hat.
I'll often, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah,
It's a crutch, I guess, at this point. I
that's
feel
what I'm saying. It's like it's just easy. It's like it's part of your wardrobe.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
I feel at this point I kind of feel like I look like a goober if I don't have my hat on.
There are people, and I'm sure you could speak the same. There are people I wouldn't recognize without a hat. Like I wouldn't know what their head looked like.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's kind of me at this point.
yeah. You better keep wearing a hat, man. No
I
one's gonna
know.
know.
Got to make sure everybody recognizes me.
Yeah,
Uh, Darth Vader or Lord Voldemort?
Darth Vader.
That's the right answer. It's
Yeah,
always been the right answer. So,
yeah.
uh,
And
I
probably
think,
the quickest reply too.
uh, most of the time I would say I get Darth Vader more than anything. I mean,
Yeah,
he's one of the most iconic villains of all time, and also,
it's
like,
Darth Vader.
he's Darth Vader, man.
Yeah. It's like the
Like,
best voice in all of acting.
yeah, dude, James Earl Jones,
Yeah,
he's the man.
yeah.
Love that dude. All right, this is my last question. I'm pretty sure I know what the answer to this will be.
Well, you answer it then.
No, I'm not gonna. This is
Okay.
for you.
Okay.
Green Day or Blink 182?
I like both, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really do.
They're
We
okay.
got we played shows with Blink way back when. We played shows with Green Day way back when.
Yeah,
I respect them both. Maybe I'd lean a little more towards Green Day.
sure.
Yeah,
See, the thing is
I'm talking early Green Day. I can't really speak for what both those bands have been doing the last 25 years. I really haven't paid much attention. I know
that's
they're
fair.
super relevant and
Yeah,
popular,
of
but
course.
I go back to the earlier stuff, and you know,
I
I mean,
also I also prefer their earlier stuff. I feel that.
yeah,
Uh,
yeah,
but
yeah. I mean, like I said, I have personal attachment to both. So
yeah.
yeah,
Well, and um the funny thing is with these questions, so we always over our 5 seasons now, um we always end with a band, like yeah, this band or this band. Um the goal of it is to make it just hard. Like, who do you prefer the most? Because I don't pick one that I think is bad, you know? Like the goal is I think both are fantastic. These are two of my favorite bands. I love
okay,
them.
yeah.
So it's always like, okay, who d- who do you prefer?
Well,
Oh man, this is hard, you know?
okay. So here's my reasoning to not be to be so indecisive,
Sure.
right? So we played a show with Green Day, God, years ago when
Yeah,
they were nobody,
sure.
and I remember I didn't really know who they were, and they're starting to like get set up, and I noticed, and this was in the late '80s. Bunch of girls started coming to the front. And we all started, what the hell? Because that did not happen
Yeah.
in our punk scene. And they blew the roof off, and all these girls were just in the front. And there was no violence. It was awesome. And I was instantly connected. Said, oh, I like this band.
Yeah.
And I started paying attention to them. We were on tour with Lagwagon and Blink when Blink started breaking. And they had to actually come home early because they were blowing up so big in the US. So I had an attachment to that as well. But whatever they did after that, I really can't. But I like both, and
Yeah.
that's my answer for reason for answering both. Sorry, I can't be so definitive.
That's okay because your answer is fantastic.
Yeah, like you said, there's no wrong answer, I guess. But I
There
guess
isn't.
I would have chose Propaganda or Lagwagon over any of them.
Yeah. Well, if I had as I was like getting to the rapid fire question segment, I was like, I don't know why I didn't like switch this up because I like to switch it up from time to time too, especially based on like where in the scene, my guest lies, because when I love this like punk rock scene. I think it's cool because it's kind of all encompassing, completely different from most music scenes. Because, inside it you've got punk rock, you've got pop punk, you've got emo, and it's all like everyone is together. You
Mm-hmm.
even have like, metal and like hardcore, and it's all still within this like bubble of like the same people that like a lot of these music, which is, completely different from like pop music and country music and things like that. Like this,
Right,
it's a huge community. Um, and I
and
just love,
it keeps growing and branching out, and it's becoming stronger. Which is great.
yeah.
You
And
know,
so, so I'll interview people from all over this giant community. And so it's like sometimes I'm like, okay, well, if you're more hardcore or like metal leaning, I'm gonna switch this up a little bit to kind of match that. Um,
right.
but I knew you had these questions just the way I had intended
No, it's great. Man. You're great. I'll
it.
answer. I'll answer anything you ask.
Hell yeah,
It
man.
might not be direct, but I'll answer anything you ask.
And it'll still be the right answer.
Appreciate that.
Hell yeah. Well, Scott, I mean, you did it. You finished the podcast. Now's your chance. Just give a little bit of recap. Let everybody know what you got going on, where they can find you, and what's next.
Well, we are just going to keep continuing what we do. I guess pay attention to see if we're playing anywhere near you. I know we have some things booked right now in the near future. Just you can follow us on our Instagram. It's at Pulley Matters. We do also have a Facebook page, Pulley Matters. I don't think we have a website anymore, or I don't know anybody who takes care of it. But yeah, we're just going to stay out there, man. And we're, appreciate anything everybody's ever come out to support and the support over all these years, people like yourself, just people that make this happen, and make it possible for a band like us to still do what we do, because we're not commercial. There's no success. We are still part of the underground community, and we will always remain a part of the underground community. And if it's not for people like us, in all aspects, whether it's a fan, a podcast host, or a musician, whatever, it doesn't exist. So, this is our scene, and it's a special thing, like you mentioned, and we should all appreciate the fact that we're a part of it. And thank you.
Hell yeah, Scott. Truer words never been said. Also, everybody, if you haven't yet, make sure to go listen to the new EP, Split Personality. And if you have listened to it, just keep fucking listening to it. Just put it on repeat over and over. Hell yeah. Well, Scott, thank you so much for hanging out with me today. This was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I appreciate your time.
Yeah, no worries. And I'm stoked for your dad that he had you a nice collection you'll have for the rest of your life.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Dad, thank you. Thank you for being awesome.
Yeah.
All right, everybody. This has been another episode of the Unsigned Pop Punk Podcast, and we'll see you all on Monday.
Thank you so much for checking out the show. Please hit that like, subscribe, or follow button so you never miss an episode. And thank you to those who already are. Please rate and review the show to help the show be found by new people. And if you're in the position to help us grow, head on over to our website where you can find merch, our Patreon, and other ways that you can help at www.unsignedpoppunk.com. Let us know in the comments who else you'd like to see on the show and what other content you would like to see. Thank you so much for spending your time with us.